Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Who we got in the chat? We got Jez, S, Cons, Jim, Capsulis, Kalechi, Agucha, Chris, Gatim, Mitko, Kostov, Shorty, Hostile Power. You will own nothing and you most certainly not be happy. That's a very strange comment to make early in the morning on a day where the market has been crashing and we've got FOMC coming in. 3 months in this range, when your all-time high, like S&P 500, this is so tiresome. It is. It is. We'll get into the charts, of course, in just a second, and we'll start to have a little look. What do people think about? I think this music's too chill. It's. I'm going to put on some other music in the background. I want to put on. I'm going to put on the usual. This one. This is a bit more lively. I haven't been doing these morning streams with music in the background, but I think it's just nice to have a bit of atmosphere, something else to whatever, I don't know. Good morning, everybody, as well. Having my morning cup of coffee. This is the only thing, apart from water, lots of water. This is the only thing I put into my body before like midday, before lunchtime, any day. Nice coffee, nice water, and then I eat later on. It's so much better for you. I feel so much like I have so much more energy when I do not eat in the morning and do nothing in the morning. And then I have like a nice lunch. And I do the supplements and all of those kind of things if I maybe need them. But yeah. Anyway, right, let's just let's get on to the charts, and we will have a look. And I'm gonna chat for a few more minutes longer. In fact, I want to go back to this page because whoops, this is the wrong page. I want to go back to this. Because I don't often share these, but if you would like to support the channel as a whole, we do have our ref links, our wonderful partners, WooX, who do, in a small way, sponsor this content because they have given us some nice offers. You do get a 50% rebate on your fees if you sign up with the QR code that is on the screen right now. And you can also get some nice deposit bonuses. And we also have Blowfin. So if you are interested in trading on either WooX or Blowfin, or indeed Bybit, I can't use Bybit anymore, it's annoying. But links for those are in the description below. It is every little helps. So even if you're just trading a little bit, it just helps to support the channel. Costs you nothing to do so. And you can do that. It would be massively appreciated, especially because there's like nobody around in these markets right now, and it is a struggle. It is a struggle to do this every day, but we're still here, and I enjoy it and I love it. So yeah, any help would be massively appreciated. And whilst we are on the charts, let's yeah, we'll have a look at a moment. And I'm going to press record in a bit. But who else is in here? Luke, you're right about Altcoin for short. After we spoke, yes, yeah. So I did take that short on Altcoin. I'm not in any of those shorts anymore. I did take away a lot of my hedge positions on the first drop down, which was a bit silly. I should have just held them for longer, but what can you do? Yeah. But yeah, in some nice trades now, and I think the market's in a really interesting position. Can we go over QVWAP, quarterly VWAP, right? quarterly VWAP, we can have a look at that. So the last quarter, I mean, wait, June will be, isn't that just June? Isn't that going to be the monthly VWAP right now? Oh, what? Yeah. Am I being stupid? No, June is the new quarter. So are you saying like previous quarterly VWAP, in which case that would take you back to, we'll be looking at March's VWAP, but that's no longer the quarterly VWAP. Anyway, we'll have a look. We'll have a look at some stuff in a minute. I'll do it after I've done the general Bitcoin analysis for this morning. Let me make sure I've got all my tabs open. We can have a look at everything that's going on. I think also maybe I stop the music for next quarter starts July. January, February, March, April. I am being stupid. Mate, it's too early in the morning. I was thinking it's of course the 6th month, and I was like, wait, so 6 should start a new one, but no. 7 starts a new one. January, February, March, then it's April, May, June, then it's July, August, September, then it's October, November, December. How did I not? Oh dear. Clearly need more coffee. Quite clearly need more coffee right now. And also I need to put the AC on. The AC is already on, but it's hot in here because the sun is blasting through the window. That's another thing I'm going to discuss. So I'm going to do the Bitcoin update, I think, to begin with. Then when we go on to alts and Ethereum and we have a look at those, I want to discuss that tweet, the one that I sent out last night, which I think is goes with a lot of what a lot of us are thinking. I guess that's what I wanted to say. And yeah, just the way that the market is right now, the way that altcoins just quite simply have been like awful for the majority of the year. So I'm going to go over that tweet, explain it a bit more, and we'll have a look at those. But without further ado, let's get on to the important stuff, which is Bitcoin. So, welcome everybody to today's Bitcoin update. We of course have had another drop down yesterday. So, actually no, wait. I said no music. I said no music. I said no music for the update. So let me turn off the music because it helps me to concentrate if there is just no music and it's completely quiet. So re-record the Bitcoin update so that it can then be uploaded later. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's video. This is your Bitcoin update for today, and the date is Wednesday, the 12th of June, 2024. So we have had another drop down yesterday. Clearly, after yesterday's update, we did see that further move to the downside. It got very aggressive at one stage, and yeah, had a reversal that was pretty much not in the middle of nowhere. We were looking at 66k to 66,500 was the zone. And this was a level that we have been speaking about as just an area where there has been just real nice confluence. It is the midpoint of this whole channel that we're looking at. So if we do go from the first low that we put in over here, all right, you can't see it because my head's in the way. The first low, you extend that across, you go all the way up to the highs. This isn't the cleanest channel in the world because it's one of those, but look at where that midpoint is. Okay, right there at this 66k area. And we have, of course, had that bounce from there. Now, this isn't the first time we've had that. The range has been split into these two halves for quite some time, right? Let's just make this channel a little bit clearer. That's better. That's better. Right. So yeah, the range has been split into these two halves for a while now. So we've had, obviously, the big range that happened back in March and April. And then we dropped down and we did mini half of the bottom half of the range and started to fill out that space down here. Then we had that change of market structure, and now we're back at the top of the range, filling in the space up at these highs here. Now, this for now, I do consider, so it is one big range overall, but we can split it into two. So as long as we are trading above this midpoint, above that 66, this is why I was saying 65,600 would be the lowest that I would want to see it go, because this was the lowest point of liquidity that we had internally before we start going into this gap. This being the POC on perps, it isn't on spot. That point of control is higher. But what we will probably find if price does continue to consolidate around here is that the perps price starts to, pardon me, the perps volume starts to build up around this area once again, and we do see that point of control shift back up to this 67,500 kind of area. So that is what I'm anticipating. I didn't really want to see any closes below here. Of course, we have been speaking about 66 in the chat for a while. French Bull had that as his main target. So for those of you who are in the crew, or for those of you who are not in the crew and would like to join, then French Bull's main target for this correction has been, and has been for a while since we've been up at these highs, 66k. Now that is simply playing this range, creating some kind of flat here before we do go on to potentially see higher prices. So the bounce we've had is decent. All right, we came down, took out a few lows, ran a load of stops, hit a load of liquidations. Sentiment was as if we just collapsed down to like 40k again. It was incredibly bearish yesterday. It was a little bit stressful because, of course, alongside all of this, we had altcoins dumping even more. And this will go into another part of this, another video that I'm going to upload later on why I think a lot of people are just completely fed up with this market as a whole, because although we've had decent price action on Bitcoin, altcoins have just been awful. And unless you're in the meme space, which I consider to be a different market altogether, there just really hasn't been that kind of price action that like any of us would like to see, the kind of price action that you can truly profit from these markets and go in big on these long-term plays. That just simply hasn't been happening. However, we're here to talk about Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin price action has been relatively nice. So this has, the last two trades I've taken, I have taken a long now, and it's more of like one of those that I've been scaling into and compounding the long from the long that I'd taken at 57, compounded once again at 61, and I've compounded again here at 66. I hadn't compounded this long throughout this range so far, so I'd allowed these dips to happen. I had been taking profit on this long, but because we hadn't taken out the all-time high, I wasn't really considering this to be an opportunity to compound yet. I was thinking that we could go and take out the all-time high, then correct again afterwards, and just keep on going with this choppy market, and then see an opportunity to compound maybe around that 64. I was very much open to the opportunity that we would get a move down. Right, I was very, I mean, I was adamant it would be unusual that you just see this go down and then all the way up. All right, it would be some kind of cup and handle thing. That is essentially what we're playing out here, even though we have this bigger range going on. But I was thinking even with that, there could be an opportunity for some like messy price action afterwards, because it's the summer, because of everything else that's going on, and so on. However, we have had this move down now, and there have been opportunities to get into that. So I did take the short up on these highs. I wasn't expecting the extent of downside that we had. I wasn't expecting this to just collapse as much as it did. So I closed this one early. And then we had another short opportunity that happened afterwards. So luckily, this one was much easier to catch. Okay, so from a 4-hour time frame, which is what I really like to trade, we could see that in order to have any chance of even being bullish again, this had to gain acceptance back below or back above, sorry, what was previously support, and then obviously has now flipped into this resistance here. So we came up, we didn't take out the highs, but we came into the lows, closed back below, providing another opportunity to take a short position. That hedge is the one that I was running throughout all of yesterday. And once again, I have now closed that because, and this is often what I do with hedge positions, I do have a more of a long bias towards the market, and I prefer to take long trades. My win rate and my profitability is higher. Probably because I closed shorts too soon. Maybe I should just focus on holding them for longer. But what I often do with shorts is they are to cover, mainly to cover any losses or any stops that I may have, and to be able to pay for a new long position, essentially. So I had some altcoins, they got stopped. That gave me some realized loss, but the short position did more than enough to cover that. So essentially I didn't make a loss. I was just kind of net neutral at that stage. And then it also paid for me to take a long position without having that risk. So that tends to be what I use those shorts for. What else can we say? What else can we say about this? So where we are bouncing now, daily open is a very narrow range for today. So we have, of course, our daily open. Price came down. And we've just tested into where we had that real high volume. So that final flush yesterday. Now, I don't know if this is enough to consider this a V-shaped recovery. But we have come back. And you can see here, it was just choppy, bang, take out the lows, reverse it, holding back where we previously had that support that it was attempting to hold throughout yesterday. And this is when Ethereum was also holding, and there was the opportunities there with Ethereum. We'll go over onto Ethereum in a minute. And so far, just, still beneath that monthly open and beneath that previous week low. Now, on the Discord, if we go over and if I just bring this up here, then on Discord, I did mention this yesterday. So I said monthly open backtest here, big moment. Longs will be trapped here if not already wrecked. Okay, so this is when we were looking at this move. We had the bounce, and at this point, for me, that was looking like a better short opportunity. I wasn't trading it at that stage. It was quite late, and it was a crazy day anyway yesterday, so I didn't really want to be trading that. But naturally, that monthly open is going to be big resistance, because what has it been for such a long time, right? It is just holding, it was holding, it was holding, it was holding. There will be long positions here. It was trying to hold on the move down. There were long positions opening. We were covering this in the morning, right? When I was doing my stream, we were around that monthly open yesterday when I did this update video yesterday. And we could see that there were longs opening. We were getting that bearish CVD divergence. We were getting that net positive delta without it being able to affect price, without it being able to get that bounce. And then we've dropped down. So there are longs trapped here. That naturally will create sell pressure, because those longs are going to want to get out break even at this stage. However, if we can get back above it, if price can, I say we, because I'm on Team Bitcoin. So if we can get back above here, hold that previous week low, hold that monthly open, then we could in fact see a very, very quick recovery that takes us all the way back up towards 69,420, right? Because that is the point in which we started to drop down. So if you look on here where your single prints are in the chart, they are literally right at 69,420. So we're probably going to end up revisiting that again at some point fairly soon. There is a FOMC today. So Get your calendars out. Be aware. FOMC, big day. We also have CPI today. So that is going to happen before the market opens. So just a few hours away from now, we do have CPI. Then later on this evening, we do have FOMC. Two pieces of massive news in one day is going to get choppy. It's going to create some craziness once again. If we didn't have a crazy enough day yesterday, today is also going to be pretty crazy. What has happened previously on every single occasion where there has been FOMC, I am going to zoom out. I'm going to find the charts that I did this on. I don't know why when I'm streaming, my charts take so long to load. But let me just bring this over here. Here we go. These are the last FOMC events. Okay, so I plotted the last 4. And of course, today we have another one. Now, you go back to December, there was a 7% drop before a move that rallied over. After that drop, within the months subsequently, a 22% rise that made new highs. In January, the first one of this year, we had a 5% drop. And then what happened? We rallied to make new all-time highs. In March, we had an 11% drop the day before FOMC, and then we rallied back towards the highs. In May, on May the 1st, we had the drop that took out the range lows, and then what happened? We rallied back up to almost make those new all-time highs. And what has happened so far today? Now this, when I was writing it, was just a 5% drop yesterday. It is still just a 5% drop, so it's not actually been as terrible as it was previously. You can see back here we had, I said 12%. Maybe I was thinking about the drop you have into it, like that whole drop. So essentially we've had a drop of, within this week, of 8% as we go into FOMC. What has happened on the last 4 occasions? I hadn't plotted any previously, just because I wanted to fit enough on the chart. The ones that happened previously were just within a bull run anyway, so I think it was just flat. And then, I mean, I could find the date. If anyone knows the date, have a look at it, do your own research, backtest it for further. But there's a few data points for you. And for the year so far, and for the trend that we're in, I wanted to do everything since the bull run. And this has essentially been every FOMC since we've been like properly bullish. Right, if you go back to when we were in a bear market, clearly FOMC is going to react differently and be a different kind of situation. But since we've been in a mad bull market, this is what we've seen: drop into FOMC, and then we fly afterwards. We literally just fly afterwards. It has been big moves, immediately recover the losses. Okay, on every single occasion, more or less immediately recovered those losses. All right. And then we make new highs after that with at least a 20% rally. Will it be different this time? Will it be the same this time? We don't know. That's the beauty of the market, but we play the probabilities, and that is something that I think is really interesting to note, and to be aware of. And if it happens again this month, then it's going to be an amazing thing to be like, oh, well, that happened then again. And then we've got 5 data points, and yeah, you get the idea. So what does that mean for today? I mean, if we are going to get this, I do think there's more downside that could happen. We could well swipe those lows again. We are still below this monthly open, so we could come down and we could take those lows once again. What I would be more inclined to say is most likely is if you are flat, if you're not in a long, we do have really nice Asia lows down here, right? So go on to your lower time frames. I mean, I'm on a 30-minute, so it's not particularly low time frame here. But we had, of course, yesterday, Asia, and then London traded below Asia, and then New York traded below London. That's unusual. That doesn't happen often where you just have one of those just one directional trading days. It is likely that we go and search back up into those areas from yesterday sooner rather than later. And yeah, if I was to anticipate a move for today, I'd say let's stay within this range. Maybe around that CPI data, we get that move down towards 66,800 that takes out those Asia lows. Can then look for a bounce and then see what happens around FOMC later. FOMC is probably going to do something like this, right? So be aware of it. It's going to cause some choppiness, not only on Bitcoin, but also on other markets. It's just going to be like, yeah, it's hard to call. But what you can do, like look to fade the first move, all of these kind of strategies. I'll probably go live again later So I'm live now. I'm going to be doing a trading room later, and then I'm going to be live again. So it's going to be a busy, busy day for me. But yeah, that's essentially what I'm looking for. Now, what we also have here is something else to be aware of. What I was saying about completely one-sided price action, there is a wickless, an entirely wickless 4-hour candle. Now, every time this happens, it does get cleaned up. Again, sooner rather than later. I would be anticipating a move up to, at the very least, to 68,500 at some point today. If that is after FOMC, I think there's enough to swipe these Asia lows and to come up towards this 68,500. If I was to look for a target for this move, that's the main area I would be looking for. So the basic idea of this is that when you have a move that is just so one directional, and this being that only sellers were even involved at this point, there's no, it does create a big inefficiency within the chart, okay? Because at this price, at this exact price here, at the 68,440, there were only sellers involved. There were no buyers within that market at all at the start of that 4-hour candle. So the market is likely to go and complete that auction and to balance it back up again. And it's just simple auction market theory. I did a tweet on this. I did a thread on this, which explains that in a lot of detail. I could bring that up in a bit. I'm on a stream. I'll bring that up in a little bit. But go to my Twitter, and you can find it over there if you want more information on why this is likely to happen. But that's probably what I'm looking for, is like the main trade for today. So we go down, we can have a look at something like this. You want to see these lows hold from yesterday. I think it starts to get really sketchy if they don't. It's not the biggest R trade in the world, but what you can do is look for an SFP off of those lows and give yourself very low risk. So let's say if CPI happens and we go poof, and we just pop into those lows, and then we hold for a little bit, you can look for a long position maybe from here or something and trade it up towards these highs. That would be a first take profit. And then you can extend that all the way back up to that 69,420. And then if we're back up here, then you may as well just let that run, because the likelihood is if we recover all of this, we're probably going to hold that monthly open again if it does come back there. And then we're going to be looking at this being more bullish again. If bearish scenario, this has been a long update video again. I apologize. I don't know why I do this so much longer when I'm on a stream, but there is a lot to discuss, and I hope it is useful for everyone. If we do get a situation where we roll over and we get acceptance down here, so if we start closing those 30-minute, 1-hour, 4-hour candles back below 68, especially if we do drop during CPI and then we don't immediately bounce and recover, or if CPI is just chop and then we get this move at FOMC. I don't know when it's going to happen. I just think it will happen at some point. But if we do get that acceptance down here, it does start to look bad, right? And then you would be looking for those lows to go again. And that's when it becomes a little bit difficult. I don't think today is going to be an easy day to trade. It would be lovely if we can take these lows and then move up towards these highs, right? It would be really, really nice. But the market's unlikely to give you that much of a clear trade right now, given everything that's happened over the past few days. Even though it gave really easy trades on the move down, right? Longs are generally a lot more difficult to get into. You have to be a bit more patient with long positions. They're a little bit more crowded. Short positions, you just go bang, short, done, poof, market drops. Easy peasy. At least recently, right? You've taken these two short positions, easy peasy. But yeah, I think looking for a long, something along these lines today. I'm going to draw it roughly on here. Let's say, I mean, your invalidation's likely to be somewhere down here around 66,400, because if you start messing around with these, you're going to go to the lows anyway. And then you got that as your first take profit. And then you've got this, which takes you back up towards here. Is there anything else that we can discuss on this chart before I wrap up? If I add the TPO onto here, let's take away the market sessions. Let's add on the TPO. We do have we have tested yesterday's volume POC. So we've cleaned up that naked point of control. I know it's what, a few dollars lower, but I think that's enough of a move down. And of course, if we do get this situation where we do come and take out these lows, then we will definitely have tested the previous day point of control. So that's good. Obviously, the reason why the POC is here is because of this candle right there. Okay, that's the point, 66,800, in which there was big aggression to the downside, and then you immediately reversed it. So if you were to look at the footprint here, there'll be huge volume here and here, which is giving you that POC from yesterday. The time point of control's not far off of that, so we have tested that as well. And this lines up really, really nicely. What do we have up here on these highs? Okay, time point of control from Monday, volume point of control from Monday at 69,420. So TPO's lining up, volume's lining up, the levels themselves are all lining up. And in fact, I think if you were to draw some fibs and you go down here, well, would you look at that? If we take out those 4-hour candles, it's also the 618. So everything's lining up. The confluence is there. All looks pretty good, pretty tasty to me to be seeing a move like that today. The only thing I wouldn't want to see, like I said, is don't want to see that deep retrace that comes all the way down here, because that would be kind of crap, right? So that's probably enough. That's enough for this Bitcoin update. I've not even checked the order flow. So let's throw it onto here and just very, very quickly check the order flow. How am I doing these like 30 or 23 minutes? Obviously, a ton of liquidations yesterday from long positions. There is a lot of shorts we can still squeeze above 70k, right? So there are, within this entire range, it has been negative delta overall. I'll show you that in just a second. So I do believe that we're still going to new all-time highs. It's just a case of whether we're going to new all-time highs from this very point right now, or whether we do need to chill out a little bit longer, maybe go to 64k first, and then go and take those highs afterwards. So I'd like for this to be the low. I'm positioned for this to be the low. So usually when I am positioned for it to be the low, it is the low. It does hold. I'm pretty good at doing that, but we'll see. ETFs yesterday, of course, we had outflows. That's natural. It's all very neutral there. Nothing too much to discuss within that. Now what we have a look at here is, so far today, we're seeing real healthy spot buying. So a spot buyback, whereas perps have been a little bit more bearish. So this is a 10-second chart. It's a little bit too zoomed in, but this is the type of reaction we wanted to see. Throughout yesterday, we were seeing the blue line down at the bottom, okay? Blue being the spot, purple being the perps, pink being perps, whatever color you think that is. Spot was leading the move down. You can see it was extending below those perps, and we did get that that premium where, yeah, essentially spot had been trading, like leading that move down, and then right at the end of the move, perps then just capitulated, and now we're seeing continued selling from perpetuals, and we do actually have some divergence here. So if we look at this low here, and then this low here is lower, right? So we are building those bullish divergences, and we are seeing spot buying. We are seeing a spot recovery. So far, it's early stages of this recovery, but it is looking a little bit more promising now. And if you do zoom out, this is what I have been talking about, right? From within this entire range, okay, like literally the entire range, we have built this range on increasing open interest and decreasing delta. So we have lower delta than we had when we came into this range all the way back in February, March. We have higher open interest than we did back then, lower CVD, which shows us that there are enough short positions within this as a whole. It's a very generalized statement, but there are enough shorts that we can really start to potentially, maybe, just get a big bullish squeeze going, maybe after FOMC today, or maybe in a few weeks' time. We will have to wait and see. So That is that. Anything else? So this is what I mean. Okay, you can see that increasing open interest on decreasing delta, but price is still maintaining this higher low structure. So that's all right. And this has been interesting over here. We are back into that spot premium, which means that perps are trading lower than spot. So the shakeout has worked. Perpetual contracts, traders trading futures on leverage have forced the price lower, which is actually a healthy thing, okay, because it shows that they're a little bit wrecked and that it has to play catch up. Spot is healthy, spot's been maintaining and has held that bid, whereas perpetuals haven't quite so much because it's thinner market. We do have that spot premium over there, and naturally what that means is that we're going to have negative funding rates today. So if we go over and have a look at the funding rates, they are going to be negative on a lot of these majors, negative to neutral. So Bybit giving us negative funding, BitGet giving us negative funding, and generally what that has meant, every time we've had this these spot premiums, it has led to a move up in price. But okay, it could stay like this for a long time. So it's early days. We have to be aware of that. But that is that. I'm going to stop this right now before it gets to 30 minutes because I had a comment on the video yesterday being like, what happened to these like nice short 10, 15-minute videos, Luke? I liked those. Well, learn to get your attention span back to what it was 20 years ago before the world of TikTok. Watch these effing videos because there's a lot of alpha in there to share. There's a lot of information in here to share. And I want to share all that information with you. And this is how long it takes to share all that information with you, even though I do waffle a little bit. So stop with the goldfish brain. Watch the videos. If you haven't watched the whole video, comment below. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow in the next one. And yeah, have a great day. All right. There you go. I really like doing this videos when I'm streaming, and my coffee's gone cold. What's going on in the chat? Yeah, so I'm gonna go. What I'm gonna do, because this worked well yesterday, as I just want to stop talking for a little bit. Oh look, I'm still on that screen. I want to upload this video. I didn't like. No, I'm cool. Right. Let me just get this video uploading. I'll add the title and stuff later, but because it is a 28-minute long video, it's going to take at least that to upload onto YouTube. What should I call the title of today's video? I also need to make a thumbnail. Also need to make a thumbnail for this. Unless I've got one that we can do, like, is the low in kind of video. Right. Do I have a is the low in thumbnail? Dead cat bounce. I've got a dead cat bounce thumbnail. I've got a time for Bitcoin to bounce thumbnail. I've got a can Bitcoin hold 61k thumbnail. Bitcoin 65k went all-time high. I've got some thumbnails I could maybe reuse. Let's throw that one on. Is the low in? So I'm going to get back to this in a minute. I am just uploading this. See? Uploading it. And then I'm going to chat with you guys. I'm also just going to throw it onto X. Onto the Twitter page. I don't know if I want to cover... Oh, I do want to cover ETH today. I'm going to do an Ethereum update. So I'll take questions and we'll have a little break, and then I'm going to do an Ethereum update, which hopefully will only take 5 minutes because I don't really have much to say on Ethereum. It's just very, very simple, and it did exactly what I said it would do yesterday. Cool. Kazi, hey, love your content. Keep going. Never catch you live yet, but I watch the uploads most of the time. Thank you very much. Let me know what you think of this live format. I like it. I like it. It means I can get all my videos done. It means, whoops. It means I can do a little chit chat and everything else. Have you done a summary of BTC yet? Yes, I have, and it's uploading right now. So if you have missed it, rewatch the video. Please rewatch the whole video. And even this is for anyone who's watching. If you just go out later on today or something, here's a little thing you can do. Just put on one of my videos and just let it run, even if it's on mute or something, or you have your speakers turned off, just let it run, because just the very fact that there is a video running by somebody and it gets watched through the whole thing, that the algo loves that. So then it can help to push it to new people, because the algo thinks, wow, someone's really watching this whole video and is focused on watching this whole video, it must be good. So therefore we're going to push it out to more people, and we're going to start to recommend that video to more people. Whereas if you just click on it and then click off, the algo goes, oh, this must be a bit of shit, and blah blah blah. So if you want to do it, of course. But yeah, please do watch the videos. Chili Man, very base, thank you. Chris, you're welcome. Knight, Alpha Pack video, thank you. AZTV, good morning to Bears only. I mean, no, good morning to Bulls. Bulls. We are Bulls. We are Taurus. That is the logo. Why is the logo not on the page? There it goes. Look, see, Bull logo. Bull logo. That was weird why the logo wasn't on that page. Strange. Yo, buy some baddie in Solana, bro. No. Thoughts on USDT ban in Europe? USDT Europe. I'm not aware of any. I mean, I saw an article on this, and I saw that there were some exchanges that were taking away USDT Europe. Yeah, this is it, because this has been brewing for a while, hasn't it? I'd have to look at what that is. Actually, yeah, this is quite funny. I'm going to play this because I was at this talk, because this has been going on for a while, right? These laws have been there for a while, and Paolo did a talk at Token 2049, and I was watching this, and he was like, "Yeah, Europe's a load of shit. Like, we're only interested in Asia anyway." So will this play? We'll play this. Oh. Where's the audio? Why can't I hear it? Wait. Oh, there's still music going on in the background. Did I not turn the music off for the stream? How weird. I just Oh my god. I muted my own speakers instead of muting the music. Oh well.
With Tether, we are, as you surely you know, and so we are not big in DeFi. We do really care about being the stablecoin for the last mile. So we focus on the adoption in the real world. So payments, remittances. We don't care about the usage of USDT in Europe and the US. We don't think Europe and US are a good market for us, and in general for stablecoins. That is our own opinion. So we devoted our energies to to focus on emerging markets, developing countries where there are 30 billion people that don't have bank accounts, not because they are bad people, but because they are left behind by the traditional banking system that consider these guys too, too poor to be of their interest, too poor to be able to milk them out of commissions. And so we want to give to these people, these great people, an opportunity to hold their checking account on their smartphone. Simple as that. That is.
I guess it's not really. That's not much going on with that. We'll see what happens with this USDT thing. It might have some kind of effect, but to be honest, we've got USDC. We got there's other stuff, and I don't think even if they ban it, I'd have to see what these regulations are. I don't know what they are. MiCA regulations. It's probably nothing, right? It will no longer be possible to distribute it on exchanges registered in Europe. So this is nothing, I would imagine. So if this is the case, like I don't know. But let's say that the ban is like, okay, USDT, you're not allowed to operate in Europe on European exchanges. There are no European exchanges. Like none. So, I mean, there are, but who uses them, right? So, yeah, no big deal. What they'll probably do is even like Bitfinex. Okay, Bitfinex, I think are registered in Europe, but they might just like move offices because whatever. RIP Swissborg. I think they've moved offices as well. I don't think they're in Switzerland anymore. And Switzerland may not even, because they're a bit of a weird one. Like they are EU, but then they kind of live by their own rules a little bit anyway, and they're pretty crypto friendly, so they might just go, stupid rule, whatever, you're fine. We'll see what happens. Yeah, exactly. They're not EU, are they? They like are and aren't. They're a bit like a UK kind of thing. But would exchanges have to ban Europeans from using USDT? No, I'd imagine they just ban Europeans from using exchanges, right? Which is what we've seen. They wouldn't be able to ban European users from using USDT. Or what the exchange would do is, I mean, all exchanges now have USDC contracts in place. They can just go, all right, we're gonna convert your USDT to USDC, and then you trade perpetual contracts on USDC or on any other stablecoin that there is. I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's probably nothing. There's always FUD like this. There's always FUD surrounding this. Look at that. The market's not doing anything right now. I think this might be a good opportunity. I'll prep this. There's not really too much to say on ETH, but let's have a little look at Ethereum, and then I'll record an Ethereum video, and then we'll get back on with the stream. See this confluence here, guys. This is what we were talking about yesterday. So, I'm going to do an Ethereum update video right now, and I'm going to make it like 3 minutes long so that all the low attention, the zero attention span TikTok kids can watch it and enjoy it and boost the algos a little bit because whatever. There's nothing else really to add here on ETH. Is there? ETH's doing the same as what Bitcoin's doing. All right, I'm going to take away these, and then I'm just going to repeat what I literally just did and record a little video. And then we'll get back to the chit chat after that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to your Ethereum update for today. So we're going to keep this one fairly short. Once again, Ethereum, I tend to just trade on the higher time frames, 4 hour and above. And we've seen exactly what we were talking about in yesterday's update. So, of course, I did do the update video yesterday when Ethereum was somewhere down here. Let's zoom in a little bit. It was yesterday morning. It was chilling down here somewhere, and we were seeing this move down. And what we were talking about was the probability that we're going to get a move down to 3,400, because what that gives us is, first of all, a really nice gap here on the 4 hour. Okay, we had of course tested this one previously where we had this range that had formed here. We had that spike down that cleaned up this 4 hour candle before making a new high, and then we've come and got a decent corrective move back down to take out the next 4 hour candle that is a little bit lower and to come into another gap there. And there is good confidence, there is good confluence for this. So in addition to the whole move down that we've just had here, if we are to add on our fixed range volume profile for this, since we put in this high, we can see this is about where we were yesterday. We did get that moved back down below, which came close to this other high volume node here, but just moved into this low volume area. So within this whole range, it has just been very little interest in price around 3,400, which is why I was thinking that if we are to see some kind of capitulation, that's likely where we end up, because there just simply isn't acceptance there. The idea that we're going to like trade into this and hold and then continue lower just wasn't likely, because there just hasn't been that acceptance here previously. Every time that it's moved through it very quickly, or has had like, and on this occasion we're getting that bounce from this zone. So what would be quite nice to see now is for this area just below this POC to start filling out a little bit. However, we do have to be aware that there is FOMC today. Of course, with Bitcoin, that has led to big moves up previously, and Ethereum with this move down being so fast, if we do have a look at the move down that we've had, there really hasn't been any levels of, it's just done nothing. Okay, all our volume was at the high, and then we just gone all the way down towards these lows and getting a decent bounce over this so far. So wherever you draw this from, essentially, we've come down, tested that point of control. And what we also have here is, if we are to look at this as a range as a whole, you go from your high up here, take that down to your low. We have tested into that midpoint, that EQ of this range. So a similar situation to Bitcoin, right? Where with Bitcoin, it had this big range that had formed. And then we had the range on the lower half, and then now we're having the range on the upper half of this. Similar with Ethereum as well. So we had this initial range that had formed back in March and April. We then went and reaccumulated down just beneath that range, so range lows down here. And then what are we seeing now is we are seeing a new range start to form up at the highs, which is kind of split by the EQ, by the point of control, very similar to what we have seen on Bitcoin. Now, if you have a look on the ETH BTC pair, then where did I have my alerts yesterday? I was saying in the video update yesterday, and when I did the video update yesterday, we were hovering around here at around about like 0.053 ish yesterday. And I was saying we want to see this move down to 0.052 to 0.05, and that is the area in which I would look to bid. So that is what I have done. I have bidded in Ethereum. This has been historically a really nice SR level around here. So you can see support, 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 flips, resistance, 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 flips, support. Hopefully, right? That's the idea. We want to see this hold as support right now. And the alert that I had was at that 0.052 BTC per Ethereum. And we have since seen a relatively decent bounce from there. So this zone looking pretty good. We had been expecting this to happen since it was up here. Okay, that's why I drew this. We got a bit of an inverse head and shoulders up here. We are expecting this to break down, and that is precisely what we have done. And there is also some confluence. If you do draw a fib from here to here, where is this? Similar to what we have seen on the USDT pair, the USD pair, is we have come down to around about the midpoint of, since we had that impulse higher, right? We're around about that midpoint, depending on where you're drawing that from and so on. But we've come into roughly a 50% retrace, which is where it was starting to look like really, really good value here. So Ethereum's looking pretty good. With everything else on here, we do have this 4-hour AB, so you can see that because we'd had this resistance, it did use this as a bit of a pit stop previously. We've come down, taking out these lows and getting a bit of a bounce. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we do just come a little bit lower. Of course, I am looking that 0.05 could be of interest as well. But if you're looking at a zone in which to become very interested in ETH, I think this is that zone. We are there. And if we can get a bit of a bounce underway, then I do believe that it's going to be very, very nice for Ethereum. I really do. I think we're going to have a decent rally. So we'll see how this goes. Obviously, Bitcoin dependent very much right now. So the whole market is very much Bitcoin dependent. But if we can get a little bit of strength, a little bit of a bounce from both Bitcoin and on the ETH BTC pair, then we could see this move down recovered relatively quickly. Now, we have a situation today. I'm not going to go on to the lower time frames, but okay, where did we have the daily open? Let's just mark this on the chart, because what we have seen today is interesting. Again, similar to what we've had on Bitcoin, where there was a drop down overnight. This came into just a little bit of a gap that we had on the 30-minute. All right, look at that. Look at that. Just a lovely little test into that gap. A nice retrace, bounce, reclaim daily open, and now we're testing back into where we have these lows from back in May. Okay, testing back into that, similar to what we have done on BTC again. And of course, when we're looking at our monthly levels, we are on here quite significantly below monthly open. So Ethereum has been really underperforming, really underperforming. So with Bitcoin, we're like right at the monthly open right now, but on ETH, we're a good 6-7% down from that. And we did at some point go 10% lower than that yesterday. So a 10% underperformance from Ethereum. It would be nice to see that start to recover and start to form a range again here. So everything's looking okay on ETH if we're holding this area. Of course, if Bitcoin does dump a little bit further, this can search a little bit further, but 3,400 was the level I was expecting. That is the level that we had. And on the ETH BTC pair, that 0.052 was the level that we were expecting, and that is the level that we have seen. So in a cautious long position right now, starting to get back into ETH spot, looking pretty decent here. But be aware that there could be a bit more downside to come. It very much depends on what Bitcoin does and whether this low holds or whether we are just to start searching down a little bit lower. So I think that's everything on Ethereum. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll update on ETH again tomorrow. Cheers, bye-bye. There we go, that was a bit quicker. These lights are bright because it's not so sunny outside. I needed bright light. There we go. Better. Less bright light, not so much in my eyes. You're blinding me. How are we doing for viewers and likes? Viewers and likes, guys. Where are we at? Only 29 likes. Let's hit the like button up. Let's get that like button fire. Let's put some fire on the like button right now. Glyph, give us a trade, mate. What's good to long? We'll take a look at some altcoins in a minute. I think if you have been watching the streams lately, you'll know a couple of the altcoins that I'm in right now, and they have shown some real nice strength since the drop yesterday. So that is good. That is good. We'll have a look at those in a moment. I'm gonna just Cake's here as well. Let's go. Sorry I'm late. Nice ETH update. Thank you very much. Yes, of course, CPI and FOMC. So I did my big old Bitcoin update earlier where we explained that. But yeah, we're going to have a busy day today. But this is the trade that I am looking at. So Glyph, if you want to trade, first of all, watch the BTC update, which is uploading right now. I am just going to press go on this because that has finished uploading. So let's just have a look back on here. No, it is not made for kids. Oh, this is the little process you go through. You're gonna make it monetization. It is suitable for everybody. Yeah, we don't want to add in any ads or any of that kind of stuff. And we're gonna make it public. Live. Bang. Videos live. Good. And on X. On X. Over here. Get rid of my DMs. Bitcoin. Market update is the low end. Can BTC bounce from here? Or are we going to dump on FOMC later? That'll do. Kill. Yo, Whimsy Pro Trades. I like the stream twice. That is counterproductive. Like it 3 times, or 1 time, or 5 times, or 7 times, or 9 times, or 11 times. But not 2 or 4, or 6 or 8, or 10. Cool. So yeah, if any of you have missed the Bitcoin update from earlier, I have just uploaded that onto YouTube. You can go and watch that. Don't watch it now. Like keep watching the stream. I'm going to stream for a little bit longer. We're just going to pop onto the alts in a minute, and then we'll wrap it up after that. But yeah, go and check that out afterwards. It's relatively simple for today. We haven't looked at VWAPs. Holding VWAP. It would be really nice if we can get this dip, but I think I am expecting a move up to 68,420. Everything's 420. No, 68,440. 68,440. And then we'll see if we can get to 69,420. And if we can get an entry down here, great. If we can't, I'm already long, so it's all good. So NASDAQ down. There's a slow sideways. Again, I always is sideways. Altcoins. Ah, yeah, let's talk about this. Do I do a video on this as well? Because I can probably wrap this up in 3 minutes. Upload a video of like why we're not seeing an alt season. I think I will, you know. Morning, traders. Is this the right update? Why is this date 8 minutes? Oh no, cool. I did. Yeah, okay. I thought I didn't record my ETH update. but I did, so that's fine. Cool. Oh, I need to blow my nose. Got it's bloody hay fever again. Hold on. Better. By the way, your thread kind of depressed me yesterday. It made so much more sense. Why this might be the shittest bull market ever. Yeah, all right, let's discuss it. And then we'll have a look at alts. So I'm going to record this as a segment. If it's terrible, I won't upload it. But if it's not terrible, I will upload it. So do I have everything that I would want to say on this? I guess I can just literally just use the tweet. Are you guys interested in hearing more of my thoughts about this? Or yeah, you know what? I'm going to Okay, welcome everybody to a no, re-record. I don't know how to start this. I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know how to approach this as a video. Maybe I just need to record it as a separate video. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to explain it anyway. I'm going to put it on record, and we'll see what happens. So right. Let's go. Welcome everybody to this video where a little bit more of a bearish take on the market to what my content is usually all about. So I did a tweet yesterday, and this just basically explaining what I have been thinking about this market for a while, right? This bull run has been terrible, for altcoins. It has been absolutely pathetic. And as someone that loves to trade altcoins, and I mean, that for me is like utility altcoins where there's innovation going on. There's like stuff that actually can interest you and be like just in general. What got me into crypto was altcoins previously. It was Ethereum, it was the ICOs, it was all of this innovation that was happening within the market. And the same with the last bull run where we had just tons of stuff. We had all of this, like where gaming started to kick off, where DeFi really kicked off. It was an exciting space. And we just haven't seen that in this market. We've had a market that's just been completely saturated by worthless shit. And I know that previously there had been a lot of worthless, I probably shouldn't say shit on these videos because it will hurt the reach, but I don't care. I know previously, like, okay, ICO boom in 2017, DeFi, to less of an extent DeFi, because that actually really helped the ecosystem as a whole. But NFTs of the last cycle, gaming where there's been just a lot of broken promises and all of that kind of thing, there was a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Whereas in this cycle, it has just been like, oh, here's another meme, here's another meme, here's another meme, here's another meme, here's another meme. And it's boring and it's tiresome. And it's really like this as a cycle is the first time where I felt like, mate, crypto is done. Like, I just can't be bothered with these meme coins and everything. And I like, call me old school, but I guess I am, and I am a bit of a hater on them. But I just don't really like what we're seeing from that so far. So we'll get the hate out of the way. what have we seen this cycle? Because a question that a lot of people have been asking is like, when are we going to get this alt season? When are we actually going to get an alt season underway? And you look at this chart. So this here is altcoins versus Bitcoin. So this is the others market cap in comparison to the Bitcoin price. Back here, November 22, FTX crash. Altcoins had a pretty decent market share back then. Okay, it wasn't all doom and gloom and terrible, and my backspace thing isn't working, so I can't do that anymore. Why is my keyboard not working? My keyboard's not working. But anyway, weird. Have I just turned it off? I did. I've literally just turned my keyboard off by accident. There we go. Now it works again. I'm back into it. Yeah, so that was weird. Yeah, the altcoins had a decent market share. You go on, and then we just had this wasteland. Okay, you had the Bitcoin was rallying. All right, altcoins were losing market share as Bitcoin was rallying. And then we had the start of this big October rally, which is when we really can say that this latest bull market has kicked off. You had altcoins that had a bit of a decent run during that stage. So we had, of course, a lot of gaming tokens that ran. We had some new like layer 2s that were coming out. And we had a mini alt run whilst everything else was running. And a lot of this, to be perfectly honest, this was Solana, right? This move here was mainly Solana. The hype that we saw from Solana. We have WIF involved in all of this. We have Pepe involved in all of this. We have Bonk involved in all of this. And then we have some AI and some gaming stuff alongside it. But it wasn't a big move, okay? It's not like we've seen previously back in 2020, 2021, where we had this big altcoin rally whilst Bitcoin was pumping, whilst everything else was pumping. It has been a wasteland for alts, and it's been like this for a while. And today, we stand at a lower valuation in altcoins in comparison to Bitcoin than we have been at any stage since the last bull market peak. Okay, bull market peaked back here, right? And it's just been death for altcoins since. Now, there is a reason for that. Okay, so we're forgetting memes. We do like forget everything else. There is a reason for that, and I did do a tweet about this yesterday. So this cycle has been a weird one for many reasons, but one question which keeps getting asked time and time again: when alt season? The unfortunate answer to this is maybe never, and here is why. And I don't mean it's maybe never. I do believe we're going to get alt seasons, but I think it's going to be a very different situation this time. So for a long time, alts have quite simply sucked. Bitcoin dominance continues to rise, and the market of altcoins compared to Bitcoin, I've spelling mistakes all over this, is at lower levels today than both the bear market lows of 2022 and the start of the latest bull run in 2023. Okay, the total number of altcoins which have made a new all-time high against Bitcoin this year, 1. And that is Render. That's the only alt that's made a new all-time high that's like in the top like few hundred, like an altcoin that actually matters, that has made a new all-time high against Bitcoin this year. And Render didn't even exist in the last bull market. All right, it came out during the bear market. That's the only one. So you think of all these other things that have been pumping, none of them, not a single other one. Like you look at things like we can go and check out. So other charts that have been massively bullish during the bull run. You look at CAS BTC, if there is a CAS BTC pair, that all-time high happened before 2024. Since 2024, it's just been a big crash. There's been other stuff that's been running as well. And I'm going to come on to this one in a minute, but Solana BTC being a really interesting one here, which I will go to in a minute on this tweet. But yeah, no others. Render was the only one, and that didn't even exist previously. Out of every token that was around when Bitcoin put in its previous all-time high in 2021, another spelling mistake. This is the problem when I write threads, I just write them and then I just post. I don't really check it. I'm terrible at that. Only 3 have made a new all-time high against Bitcoin since the FTX lows. The first one is Injective, INJ. Now that launched at the end of the previous cycle, and now, as of today, is down 65% against Bitcoin. The second one, TRB, which was just a pump and dump. All right, that just pumped, made new BTC all-time high, and now it's down 95% against that. And the third one is BNB, which put in its all-time high a few weeks after the FTX crash and is now down 60% from that point. So once again, we can have a look at some of those charts. We go over to this, we go INJ BTC. We have a look at that, and we can see that we have since 2021 put in, go to the weekly chart, a new all-time high, but it was a very new token. All right, this launched pretty late in the bull market, and then it just had its cycle afterwards. We have TRB, BTC, and then if you're looking at things like CAS as well, like this isn't including that because they didn't exist back then. TRB, literal just pump and dump, right? Made new all-time high, now is down 95%, right? Load of nonsense. And then BNB, BTC, when you look at this one, put in a new high, but that happened very, very soon afterwards. So obviously FTX happening in November of 2022, and then these highs on BNB happening almost immediately after that. And I believe on log scale, maybe not. It was quite an interesting thing technically. I can't remember exactly what it was, but again, we're seeing this down considerably against Bitcoin right now, a 60% move down against that. So alts have, in fact, been terrible, like really, 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 really terrible. And then if you go from this, like even Solana, okay, Solana, despite the massive, massive bull run that we've had from Solana, it has rejected at the 618, the golden pocket, okay, and I am expecting, right, a more of a correction here that takes this back down. So this is why I'm hedging the short position on Solana, and this is why I have been taking those short positions, right? Because I do believe that it is topped. And the other thing with Solana as well, and this maybe could add a bit of hopium, but if you look at Sol BTC, okay, that's where it rejected. It never made a new all-time high against Bitcoin, despite the fact that it has been the only thing really moving. Like Solana and meme coins have been the only thing really doing anything that existed from the previous bull market. And what Solana also did, if you go look at Solana ETH, then this just took out its all-time high against Ethereum, right? And then has been pulling back. So again, this is why I was bearish Solana when everyone else was bullish. And this is why I was taking the short positions on Solana, which have, of course, played out very, very well since this point. Okay, looking at those short positions on Solana, I am expecting this to come down to around about $100. So yeah, there is that. We'll go back onto this. We'll go back over onto this and go on to the next tweet. Right, so meme coins have sucked up almost all of the retail liquidity. Smaller trade investors and traders, which have been priced out of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, obviously, really, really high prices right now, 69K. Is not going to really bring in a lot of retail hype, because the thing is, when Bitcoin was much lower, and there was talk about, Bitcoin, it could get, like, the aim was for that like $1 trillion market cap, and the aim was to flip gold market cap. Back in 2017, that was like tens, hundreds of X's away to get to that point. And now we've got to that point where it's only a 4X from here to get and to flip the gold market cap, right? Gold market cap, I think 4 trillion or something along those lines. We're not that far away from it. So that the retail know now that the gains aren't really there in Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't going to get you rich like it has done in previous cycles. It's never going to happen, right? It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get rich from holding Bitcoin anymore. So the priced out of it. And they're also not seeing the opportunity to make money on alts because alts have been terrible, right? A lot of altcoins also launching at just ridiculously high valuations, and they're not seeing that the opportunity to make big money. And the thing that gets people into crypto is people essentially want to gamble a little bit. They want to put in those high risk, high reward trades are what bring people to this market. And we just haven't been having that from the market as a whole. Bitcoin isn't going to give you that unless you're using crazy leverage. But people who are coming into the market for the first time aren't going to understand about that. They're just going to want to buy and hold spot tokens to begin with. There just isn't the opportunity for those big gains. All right, we've seen it from some alts, Casper, of course, but you had to be there in the depths of the bear market to realize those profits. The most we've really seen from decent altcoins is like a 10x from these. The days of 100,000x from utility alts just does not exist anymore with the valuations that we're seeing in the market. So what are those traders doing? They're gambling on meme coins. All right, they're going to pump.fun, they're going onto the Solana chain, and they're just basically throwing money into stuff that lasts for a few days at most, a few hours often, and they're the only things that are getting these like 1000x% moves right now. But what happens with these traders, okay, is that the majority of them come into the market. We're getting new retail into the market. They're going straight to the Solana meme coins, right? They're going straight there. They're bypassing crypto and what we would consider crypto. They are bypassing that, and they're going straight to meme coins. They're surviving for a few days. Maybe they hit a 10x or they hit a 20x. Then they get greedy and then they get rugged and they're out of the market and they'll probably never come back. All right. So that's the state of the meme coins right now, is that we get new retail that comes in and then they immediately leave because they get wrecked and they get rugged. And that's just the facts of it right now. Now, in addition to this, not only has Solana been just crazy and everyone's going there, but we look at other chains that have been launching: Optimism, Ethereum, Base, Blast, Arbitrum. We are seeing massive hyperinflation and dilution of token supply across the entire market. Now, Bitcoin, okay, has 21 million. We know that that's all it's going to get. Ethereum on its own, we know that there is steady. There's people cleaning my windows right now. Hello. That's weird. They're going to listen to me and see me. But yeah, so where was I? Lost my train of thought. Yeah, we know that there isn't that hyperinflation from individual currencies, but when you think of the market cap as a whole, what we saw in May alone of this year, there were more tokens created, and this is excluding Solana, more tokens created on sidechains, Base being a big problem here as well. More tokens created than the entire history of crypto put together up until April 2024. All right, we are seeing about 250,000 new tokens released every day. And then we're getting 300,000 tokens released on Solana every single day. Now, 99.9999999% of those are like rug pulls, effectively. So out of these like 300,000 new tokens that are released on Solana, 299,999 are rug pulls. These window cleaners are really distracting me. But we'll go on to the next post. So add to this the fact that we still don't have any new interest in utility alts. Okay, people's attention span is down. Now I've got the dogs barking in the background as well. Luna! I'm going to try and carry this on. Wait, I'm going to stop recording anyway. Dogs have noticed the window cleaners. I'm going to have to stop recording this. I'm going to come back to this in just a second. Bear with me. Yeah, I can. You guys can hear the noise that I have to deal with right now. Can you hear them? Turn off the noise suppressor. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. They'll be done in a sec. Let's throw on a chart for now. Lena, say hello to everyone. The window cleaner guys are literally like watching the stream. Oh man. What's going on? Yes. All right, let's turn on the noise suppressor again. So then at least you don't have to listen to Poppy barking downstairs and Luna barking here. Poppy, shut up. You're really annoying. Anyway, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Chat, say something. We had like a massive viewer drop off there. Oh dear, they're about halfway down the window. The problem is it's a massive, massive window. It's like a 2-story, goes the whole way down. And they're little individual, tiny little panes of glass. So it takes them like a good like half hour to clean the windows. Did you think you'd be sat in front of a camera with your sausage in your hand today? Maybe. Maybe this is what I do in my it's my side hustle. Luna, you're gonna go on the bed. Oh, just a window cleaner. Jeez. Dogs, man. They've almost finished. I just want I want to wrap this stream up soon, but I want to finish the video I want to finish the bit I was doing. There's a little bit more that I want to just get back to. If anyone's still here watching, just like ask me some shit. We'll have a look at the market, and then we'll wrap this stream up in a minute. But I'm gonna carry on. Practice what you will say to us now. I mean, I've said most of what I need to say. I'm just gonna go back to that tweet in a minute and just carry on and just explain the rest of that. But yeah, you can read it if you can read it if you want to. My God, it's a good job this doesn't happen often. It's a good job. Like these window cleaners only come like once or well, a couple of times a year. Almost there. Almost finished. Degen eval plans for CPI release. Yeah, I mean, CPI, you're just looking at swiping Asian highs and lows, right? When is that? It's still a few hours away. We still could take out the highs. It would be really nice if London session just like stays contained within the Asia range. And then we can look at CPI as being just take liquidity, right? Shut up! Jeez, man. Dogs. Stressing me out. Yeah, I mean, stop barking. They've gone now. The window cleaners, they're lower. They're going. They're good. They haven't even cleaned the windows very well. They're like, what was the point in that? They're not even that clean. Do you still trade sessions on BTC? Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, this is, so if you look at the update video from earlier, yeah, still looking at taking out these Asia lows on Bitcoin later on. And yeah, I do absolutely still trade sessions. Because I'm taking a little bit more of a higher time frame approach with Bitcoin though, I mean, sometimes it's not like I'm drawn a bit more to like the higher time frame liquidity rather than like session by session liquidity, because I don't trade every single session on Bitcoin. However, yeah, if I'm looking at scalp trades today, for example, I think there's a really good opportunity to take a little trade on this. And we've seen previously examples like, okay, we had on Sunday, New York took London lows, got a move on, then took the highs, got a move. London lows being, Asia lows being swept Monday, come up, take out the highs, those kind of things. They've been working pretty decent lately, but not something I trade like back to last Wednesday, London just sweeps Asia highs, moves down, and then you have a bit of a distribution above. So yeah, I do. Short answer to that, I do still trade them, but I'm not day trading Bitcoin as much as I used to. Yeah, just taking a bit more of a slightly higher time frame approach on Bitcoin for now. Right. Now that things have calmed down here, and I can actually hear myself think again, I'm going to finish off what I started with that video, and then I'm going to combine it and yeah, upload it as another video, because I think it was kind of interesting, right? And then we'll have a look at some altcoins. We'll see what else is going on in the market. It's going to be another like 2-hour stream here, but I quite like this. It's nice and chill. Like I'm enjoying doing these streams in the mornings. You guys can just tune in, ask whatever you want to ask, do whatever you want to do, and yeah, when that means that the more screen time in front of everyone, in front of the audience, the better. I guess it's good. It's good. So you guys cool with that? We'll carry on, and we'll just wrap up this little segment, and then we'll just have a quick look, scan across the altcoins, and probably call it a day after that. So stick around if you're interested in the altcoins. But yeah, for now, we'll go back onto here. So, right, okay. So window cleaners came along. Dogs became very noisy, so I had to stop that video recording. But hopefully, I mean, I've completely lost my train of thought now, but I think we were around about here. So basically saying that, yeah, we were around about here, weren't we? So essentially, added to everything that we've seen previously with this massive dilution in supply on the market with new tokens being released, there hasn't really been any retail interest coming back into the market for crypto as a whole. Now, if you look at the trends for meme coins, if you look at the trends for Solana, if you look at the trends for Phantom Wallet, those kind of things, those are up. Obviously, it's the first cycle that they've had. It's the same as like DeFi back in 2021 and NFTs back in 2021. I consider meme coins to be like the NFTs. They're within the crypto sphere, but they're not really crypto. Okay, it's a different thing altogether. People aren't being onboarded into, like, people don't need to really even touch Bitcoin and all of that kind of stuff to get into the Solana thing. It's a completely different ecosystem, and it's very much contained within that. But Poppy, stop barking. Don't start again. Oh my god, they're coming back up and they're drying the windows. Seriously. They're coming back up again now. We'll keep going. But yeah. Anyway, what I was saying, new participants are getting hooked on memes. They survive a few days and then disappear when they get rugged or lose all their money. And that it has been what we've been seeing recently. We're gonna have to pause this again. Luna, what does it take to clean a window? Oh, they've gone. They've gone, finally. Stop barking, they're not there. Third time lucky, right? Third time lucky. This has been eventful. This has been eventful. Okay, third time lucky. Window cleaners came back again to dry the windows on this occasion, and then dog started barking. I have gone barking mad. Yes, Cliff, I have. Right, okay, we're going to attempt to finish off this little segment of the stream so that it can be watched as a video for you who is watching the video right now, probably, if you're still here after all of the nonsense. But yeah, I've said everything I need to say on that. Now, moving down. This overall means that there are hundreds of thousands more altcoins out there competing for the same liquidity, which was around in 2021 and 2022. Of course, the people that are coming into this space now aren't there buying altcoins and becoming interested in utility altcoins. They're just flapping around with memes right now. So how do we get them over into this ecosystem so they can start actually getting involved with centralized exchanges, with DeFi, like proper DeFi and all of that kind of stuff? So the total market cap of all alts, excluding Bitcoin, since the FTX crash is up 150%. Right. However, the new tokens added to that list since the FTX crash are up like 100,000%, possibly even more. So this is just from like what's on CoinGecko. Okay, we're sat here with like 2.4 million tokens on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. Back in 2021, there was like 16,000. Yeah. So that's how much the space as a whole has been hyperinflated and diluted, which means that you've got to, like, let's say you've got $1,000 to put into the market, whereas previously you may have had like a list of 10 or 20 altcoins that were looking good. Now that list is just exponentially increased and the money is being dispersed across so many different alts, so many different ecosystems, so much else. So people don't have more money, There's not more money in the space right now. There's a little bit more money in the space, but not much. But that's being dispersed across so much more now, which means, of course, that in order for prices to go up, you need money to go into those ecosystems, and that just simply isn't happening. Whereas previously, someone may have thrown in $1,000 or whatever into one altcoin. Now they're moving from one, jumping into the next, and into the next, and into the next, and into the next, and it means that nothing can sustain price action, which is what we've seen as a problem for so many alts, where they may rally for a month and they'll have the market's attention for a month, and then it collapses all the way back down to where it was before. And that has been a continuous theme throughout this bull market, but it hasn't really been a bull market. So problematic once again. Okay, all right, this is why we're seeing the total crypto market cap similar to Solana. Most of this move up has been Solana based, right? But rejecting at the 618, rejecting at that 1.2 trillion, consolidating around 1 trillion right now as a total 2 market cap. Now, to make matters even worse, if this hyperinflation at dilution of the market as a whole hasn't made anything worse, this year we have seen, it's been an insane amount of greed from venture capital, from institutions, from shills, influencers on X and everything else, and insiders within like the space itself. So people who may have maybe created like one token in the previous cycle, those teams are creating 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, hundreds of tokens. We're seeing people like, and I don't want to name names, but some of the biggest YouTubers in the space, they shill a token like 10, 15 tokens every single day. And they're getting given that money to just post this stuff. And the levels of greed that we've seen within the market on this cycle have been so much higher than we've ever had before. So what this is causing is that the price discovery, okay, has taken place before a token is even generated. So before a token even hits the market, there are negotiations going on behind the doors with venture capital, with influencers. They're like, okay, we're going to give you these tokens. There's going to be an X amount of vesting period. Usually in this case, it's like a year, sometimes as high as 3 years vesting, which means that if you are an early adopter and you get into these tokens early, you're being distributed them, maybe like if it's a year vesting, you're getting like 8.5% per month of your allocation, which naturally means that investors are going to want to recoup their investment immediately. So the tokens are launching with a valuation significantly higher than it needs to be, because the early investors want to get out and then the rest of the tokens need to be profit. So although they're having to hold those tokens for ages, they want the profit immediately, or they at least want to recoup their investment immediately, which means the tokens are launching at a massively inflated valuation. Okay, often like multi-billion, tens of billions of dollars valuation, which is a problem that hasn't happened in previous cycles either. Okay, so that means retails will buy into the hype and then have to eat a 90% decline in price because of agreements made between insider investors and projects which force the price to launch at 10x or more of its actual value. We've seen situations like this. Satoshi VM, for example, massively shilled, now is down 92% from its highs from where it launched. Okay, and there's other examples of that. I myself have invested in GMRX token, which is down like 70, 80% right now for that same very reason. Yeah, ApeCoin. Now, I didn't realize at the time how big of a problem it was. I just thought, oh, I'm going to try this. I have the opportunity to get into a token early, but I never really took profits on that. And now like my investment's down. And this is the thing, like VC are so greedy that they're forcing these insanely high valuations, and then it's left to folks like you and I to eat those losses because we're the exit liquidity. As soon as it launches, exit liquidity, bang, sell into retail. Whereas on previous cycles, we've at least seen that there's been a cycle, okay, before they sell, before they start dumping, it at least has to mark up in price somewhat before it starts dumping. But now we just have a situation where it launches an exchange, bang, 90% decline. and price. Everything. Now, that might not continue forever, but that's what we've been seeing recently. Okay. And okay, if that isn't bad enough, tokenomics of many of these projects mean that they are hyperinflated to such an extent that they need to 10x in market cap over the course of 3 years to even stay at the same price per token. Right? We look at Starknet. Only has around 10% of its circulating supply. Currently, 13% of its total supply circulating. That has a vesting period of 3 years. So over the next 3 years, the rest of that 87%, the rest of those 8.7 billion tokens, is that right? Something like that, will be released onto the market. So the market cap is going to have to 10x for the price per token to even remain the same. Problems. And that, again, something that we're seeing from so many of these tokens. I'm just using Stark as an example because it is a stark example of it, but so many are launching with only like 10, 15, 20% circulating supply, which means it has to massively increase the market cap to get to the fully diluted valuation within this bull market to even maintain the same price per token. So as an investor, you want price per token to go up. You don't really care so much for the market cap. All right. If you buy a token at $1, you want it to go to $10, right? You don't want it to stay at $1, but for the market cap to go up 10x because they've released 10x the amount of supply. Yeah. So that, another problem. Now, this doesn't mean that it's all bad news, okay? In previous cycles, it took 18 months post BTC halving for the market cycle to top. So we should still be early here. It means that there should still be an opportunity for the market to pump. And this is maybe a symptom that we are facing right now, where you look at this chart, okay? On each occasion, 77 weeks from halving to the cycle highs, and this is total market cap. So this means the altcoins running, Bitcoin running, 18 months. That takes you to October 2025. The problem we have now is, for the first time ever, all right, we're seeing this left translated cycle. All right. So because we're seeing this left translated cycle, Bitcoin having made a new all-time high, maybe it's increased our expectations of thinking we're in a bull run right now. Where's the alt season? But the market may simply just not be ready for that yet. And maybe we've just been blessed, and I don't know what to say, what word it is. But maybe we've just been fortunate enough to have had this Bitcoin rally, meme coins, which have brought in some early retail interest, which have brought in some early news. Of course, we're getting the ETF hype that's happened before the halving. We're getting a ton of other stuff. We made a new all-time high before the halving. It's never happened previously. So are we just thinking that we should be further along in this cycle, whereas realistically we're not? There's still a long way to go. And there is still plenty of time for things to correct themselves and for the market to naturally start to float upwards again, and for altcoins to really start to benefit from this, because we should still be early, but we are left translated. Everything's happening earlier. Are we going to get this cycle that lasts until October 2025? Probably not. Okay. We've only had these two previous examples. Probably won't happen. But do we at least have a situation where the altcoins can start to run within the next year or so? Yeah, I expect so. So I think things are going to get better. The past few months have also seen a cool down in terms of greed from VC and influencers. All right, we are seeing a bit less of that. A lot of them have moved on to meme coins. Again, not going to name any names, but a lot of people that were shilling utility tokens, tokens that have some kind of innovation, have just moved on to like shilling meme coins. And hopefully that means that the meme coins have topped. We've had the celebrity nonsense within all of that. And we're seeing projects starting to launch at fair evaluations. So there's a few tokens launching this week that I myself am very interested in. The Aether token, which is a bit of a high valuation. I think that probably pulls back a little bit. There's another one called Orbital 7, which is a Bitcoin ecosystem token that I'm kind of interested in. That's launching, I think, this week as well. and we'll see what kind of valuations they start with, what the price action is like. Hopefully it's a little bit more calm than just a dump on listing that we have seen recently. Getting some alerts here on Bitcoin going off, so we are getting a move up on Bitcoin. So I'm going to wrap this up very quickly. We have also most likely seen the top in memes in regards to overperformance. As attention exits away from these products, investors and traders will start to look elsewhere for their fix. Utility altcoins have always been a huge draw for people who not only like the profits they make, but also get excited by the utility and the innovation. This in turn creates a stronger communities as they can see these projects are innovating and disrupting. So hopefully that means stronger hands. Hopefully that means more sustained price action. Hopefully that means retail who are coming aren't going to immediately exit the space when the new wave of retail does eventually come, and they're not just going straight into meme coins and getting wrecked straight away. Okay, so whilst it does all look bad, whilst it looks bad and is bad now, there is still time for conditions to improve. But now more than ever, it is important to do your own research. We're in a cycle where only the cream will rise to the top. Previously, like, you could invest into anything and it would probably 10x. Okay, but on this occasion, I do believe that only the cream, only the best projects will rise to the top. You need to know how to find these projects, and once you found them, you will need to be patient and to hold strong, as this market will always test your resolve. We may never get an alt season again in its traditional form. When Ethereum starts running, if Ethereum starts running, we probably will see that there's some kind of alt season there around about the Ethereum ecosystem. But I think instead what we're more likely to see, because the market is much more diluted, is we'll see consistent rotation between different ecosystems, narratives, and innovations. So it's important to stay on the ball, to keep up with the market, or you will get left behind holding garbage like XRP forever. Okay, and this is why for me as a trader, I only really look at new stuff, and I'm constantly trying to look at new stuff because I think that's so important to be aware of. Attention spans are short, okay, and they are shortening with people every single day. People's attention spans are getting shorter. Therefore, these market cycles are likely to get shorter. Therefore, the narratives are likely to get shorter. You may see something pumps for a month and retraces that entire cycle a month later. All right. So you've got to be aware of that. You've got to be aware of what's coming out and what is new, because there's so much more coming into the space. And yeah, essentially that's that. So thank you for staying with it, and for watching to the end of this video. If you have, we're going to get back to the live stream now because Bitcoin is pumping. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please give the video a like and subscribe and all of that kind of stuff. And let's hope and pray for an alt season soon. But remember, do your own research and don't just buy any old stuff. All right, cheers, bye-bye. All right. Got there in the end. Why are all of these things so long? We are getting a decent little move up here, aren't we, on Bitcoin? So Asia high is being taken. We know where the target is. It would have been nice to have seen them move down first. But if you are already in a long position, happy days. Things are looking pretty good right now. How long is that video overall? We got 16. Oh, it's only going to end up as like a half-an-hour video. Half-hour video on the state of the altcoin market right now. That's cool. I can edit that together. Put that together. Right. Do we want to look at anything else before we wrap up? There's a few things that I do want to cover. I've covered Solana in this stream already. Okay. Still think this breaks down a little bit more. A couple of the longs I'm looking for. Stacks USDT.p. So Stacks looks really good. Was very resilient throughout the whole drop yesterday. Still having broken out of this downtrend that it had been in previously. We had the opportunity to enter. All right. And yeah, I have taken that opportunity to enter on Stacks. So good entry yesterday. We're up on the day. Things are looking good. I think if it can get back above $2.20, then that starts to look really promising. So Stacks looking very good. And also sticking with the Bitcoin ecosystem, Audi. All right, USDT.p. This is the other long that I had taken yesterday. Now this was compounding an existing position. But essentially what we did, we came in, I had taken profit at this stage a few times on this trade, but this once again looking like a decent chance to compound that position. This is the first time I've had an opportunity to compound. I was long from down here at 37.8 ish, something like that. I'll check my position in a bit. For the first time compounding yesterday, because what did we have here? We have a real nice like 4-hour gap, and if you extend that 4-hour gap across, what did it impulse through? It was previous resistance. So we drop down, resistance, resistance, resistance. Can this flip into support and start new highs here? So looking decent all on Audi as well. And I think if we do, okay, anchor view up from there is a little bit lower. Anchor view up from here, we're right on it. So ordinals and stacks, two Bitcoin ecosystem altcoins, both looking very, very good after the drop that we had yesterday. Both have been showing strength recently against Bitcoin and against the rest of the market. I think that is a narrative to be very interested in right now and to be looking at. And there are big opportunities here. So I really like where this is coming into, and I have compounded on this position. So what was a trade that at the beginning looked like this, right? We had this trade here and we were looking for this to come up to towards these highs. We now have a second opportunity to compound those positions around about here. Essentially, you're looking at stop break even, and your break even is going to be somewhere around here now, which is where mine is. I think where is my average entry on this? I can tell you exactly where my average entry is on this. If I just open up my charts, my average on Audi now is where are we? My average on Audi is 44.3. So my average entry here now is down here. So 44.3, having compounded, having added on the profit that I had previously, I'd probably, at this stage, you'd have stop break even. And if that compound doesn't work, then at least you've made that. But you're looking for highs and stuff around here now. So you've got a similar trade. We can just clip it as something like this, see what happens around here, see if this can come up and take these highs, that kind of thing. Already looking pretty good, I would say. Apart from that, I've just been, so I did a little scan on things yesterday. Like Bonk was looking brilliant. I didn't take a trade on it, but as soon as we looked at this trade, the chart yesterday on Bonk, it was immediately looking really, really nice. Pepe could be another opportunity to go short, because what Pepe is doing here is it has taken out these highs. So Pepe could be a short position right now, compound the short that I'm already in to take it down to 0.01 per 1,000 Pepes. Aave was looking okay yesterday. It went deeper than I thought it would. Ape looks kind of cool. Arkham was looking kind of cool. I'm not going to scan through all of these alts again, but if there is anything that people would like me to look at, then please feel free to ask. Doge was another one I was very interested in. I just keep buying Doge when it comes down to these levels, like 14 cents. I think it's a really nice support level. I think it's a very nice support level. Yeah, but look, the state of altcoins right now is just terrible. Terrible. Rodri, did you cover ES Nasdaq thoughts on where they are versus where BTC currently is? No, I mean I don't really trade the Nasdaq. I just trade level to level. I just use often I just use session liquidity, or I just use a 1 minute time frame, and I'm just scalping that. So I don't really care where we are on the ES and on the Nasdaq. Yeah, you could short this soon. If you come back down here, sets up for a nice short. you start coming down here again, like 19260, start closing candles down there. Yeah, report to legacy market chat if you want like the consistent updates on the legacy markets. Then once again, you all of that information is in the crew. I'm going to stay crypto focused on these streams, and if you want legacy market stuff, then again you can see this morning has been really active. There's been a lot of trades taking place there, like all of this from this morning. So there's all your analysis on the legacy markets. Lots of trades taking place over there. All of this from this morning. Shorted Asia high. Who was that? Check that out. Nice. Couple $100 over there being made. That's where all the juicy stuff is over in the Discord. And if you are interested in joining the crew, then links are in the description below. TaurusCrypto.com will take you over to where you can find out more information about our community. You can click on join the crew and then you can join the crew. All right, you can do that very quickly, very easily. We're live every day, trading the markets, being very active, all of that kind of stuff. I mean, I can zoom out and have a look at this. Honestly, right now, like you're just looking at either just insane price discovery when FOMC happens and a massive pump, or you're probably dumping a lot. I mean, I'd be interested down here. If it does drop, I'd be interested in that low. Well, that's about it. Unless you're coming all the way back down to these lows and these lows and these lows and these lows, which could happen. So, yeah. This looks nice. Bitcoin, should we just see if we get this move up? Because if this happens, could short it. That could change the plan. Because instead of getting this trade, I mean, essentially you could be long from daily open and had this, like that was another possibility. Is anyone in a long on Bitcoin right now? I mean, there was good ample opportunity to get long. I was just looking at like maybe the next trade because we'd been hanging around that daily open for a while. So I guess essentially a few of you guys are in something like this. Maybe you even managed to catch this dip overnight. But if this has been holding this daily open, that's been relatively decent. So yeah, maybe some of you are in a trade that looks a little bit like this right now, which would be good. However, if we do come and take these highs, right, be aware we could start squeezing from that point. But that could be the opportunity to go short. And then maybe we get these Asia lows later and can recover this. So we could see a situation where we take highs, come down, take Asia lows, and then get that big recovery. What that would also do is you would have extended far enough at that point for there to realistically be a deeper retrace. Yeah? So that could be something for sure. This is the wickless here, Cake. Yeah. I know you were late to the stream. I didn't realize you pointed that out yesterday. But I also spotted it. It's very nice. It's very nice. I'm gonna post this as like, here's the idea. Let's see how it goes. Because that would be super cool. Yeah, looking decent. Decent. All right. I think, right, we've been live 2 hours again this morning. Viewer numbers are probably dropping off a little bit now. I mean, still a decent number of you here. So thanks everybody who is still here. Still looking fairly good. We've got a decent number of likes. I'm going to upload the Ethereum update and the altcoin thingy-majiggy update as videos. If anyone has any final questions before we wrap this up, then please do let me know. But yeah, let's see how this goes throughout today. We are thinking that this move up towards 68,440, 68,450 is looking quite likely. At that stage, I think that could present a real nice short opportunity because people will be thinking we could recover this in one go. Maybe we do. Like I don't know. We could recover it in one go. But if there are shorts, then you could take that down. Asia lows meets with the golden pocket, 66,900, 66,7K acting as support once again, and then we can maybe go for that move up to recover this whole move down weekly open around about FOMC. So if we can get a CPI that does this, and then CPI does that and we dump, and then FOMC happens and we pump, that would just be beautiful trading. But just an idea. So yeah, unless there is any other further questions, I will call it a day. Get the questions in quickly before I wrap it up, because what often happens when I do these streams is you take too long to write, and by the time you've written something, I've already finished the stream. So I'm going to give it 10 seconds. And if there are no further comments after 10 seconds, I'm just going to press end. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you again. Well, I'll probably see you again this evening for FOMC, and I am going to jump in the trading room later on as well. So busy day for me. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and I'll see you.